Welcome to Your Morning, the podcast. Welcome, Teddy. Welcome, Michelle. It's really fun to have you. By the way, if you are listening, you can watch as well on YouTube and Crave. And we obviously have a great show for you today. There's so many big names on this show. Can I tell you, one of my favorite conversations over the last several weeks was with Ronnen Harary, who's the Spin Master CEO. You guys know Spin Master, the toy company?
Yeah.
PAW Patrol. Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's like,
Huge.
of course, PAW Patrol. There's been Kinetic Sand. The list is really long. And he has a book out, which is basically detailing why to get started in your 20s. And when you have the risk level is kind of low in terms of what you've invested in from a family perspective. And I will also say, like, when you think back to your 20s, the risks that you took.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know as much. And he basically talks about why betting on yourself in your 20s is really the best decision you can possibly make. And I couldn't agree more. Anyway, it was a fascinating conversation. I love to talk to entrepreneurs. I think it's a really important conversation to have and for young people to listen to as well.
Great lessons.
Malia Baker. Okay, let's talk about a total celeb in my house.
Okay.
She's in Descendants. I got to speak with her. She plays Chloe Charming, who's the daughter of Cinderella and King Charming, who obviously get married. This is a great film series, and my daughter Vivian is obsessed. She watched the movie with me before I interviewed Malia Baker, so I obviously had to interview Vivian to say, like, what would you ask her?
Was your daughter excited you were going to do the interview?
She was so excited, and she was like, can I come into work? And I said, no.
No?
I said straight up no. So she wasn't with me, but she was able to watch the interview, which was awesome.
So that's great. And another name that a person that everyone was excited about here is Shania Twain.
Oh,
and
man.
Anne-Marie had the chance to sit down with her, had a great conversation about her new album, about her Canadian fans and how much she loves them and her Canadian roots and her fans all over the world, her son, and even her thoughts on country's current artists, the biggest one, Ella Langley, because she's making a lot of waves right now. So that was a great chat that Anne-Marie had. And I was thinking, because Shania is such a legendary artist and a legendary Canadian one at that point, so many of us might have memories of that. Do you have a song or a particular moment that stands out to you?
I'm going to ask you guys a question here.
Okay.
What do Shania Twain and Lindsay DeLuce have in common?
Oh, let's find out. I want to know.
Both,
Take a guess.
both hashtag Canadian icons.
Canadian icons.
I love that, but not true.
Both amazing singers.
That is true.
One of them.
Did you perform at Deerhurst Resort?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
No,
'cause
one
she
more
did.
guess.
Yes.
Well, fashion icon.
Yeah,
you go.
totally. That's it.
Yeah.
We're both from Timmins.
Oh,
That's
Yes.
right.
I was going to go there, but
That
I thought it
was
was
so
going to be.
easy and we
I
missed
thought it was
it.
going to be deeper than that, Duluth.
No, she used to be my babysitter.
What?
I tell people that it's not true, but but yes, but she talks a lot about Timmins.
Timmins, yes.
And she said that she loves Timmins so much. And I think the album cover too is a nod to the landscape of Timmins and other areas of the country.
Yeah.
She said the only thing that she doesn't love about Timmins is blackfly season, and I get it.
I think we can all be on the same page with that. She was also, for me personally, she was, as a student reporter, the very first celebrity that I ever interviewed.
Wait, you interviewed her?
I did at
When?
the Canada's Walk of Fame, the year that she was inducted. It was her and Linda Evangelista are the two that stood out to me.
Right.
And here I was with my little camera and my microphone.
How long ago would this have been?
2003, I believe. So I got to interview her. She was wonderful and gracious.
Do you remember
and
what you
so
asked her?
lovely. I do not, because it was like, this was
You
a big
blacked out.
moment. No, it was also many years ago as well. But I do remember how genuine she was
Yeah.
and how connected she was with the conversation on the red carpet, even though, we weren't one of the big outlets. We were clearly my student journalists at the time. And then Linda was also nice. But that's my Shania story, and I love her for it.
And you know what's really cool, and you as a musician can appreciate this, the fact that she performed at the Horseshoe Tavern. Nobody knew she was going to perform. Well, we didn't know she was going to perform. I think it was like 500 people that were there.
Yeah.
And she told a story on stage about, this is the Horseshoe Tavern in Toronto, which is an iconic venue.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And she told the story like she always wanted to play there when she was coming up, because that was the place to play.
sure.
And then the fact that she is who she is now and went back to the Horseshoe Tavern to play this very intimate concert.
Yeah, this small show. It's incredible. And I love the Horseshoe. And I love that you're from Timmins as well.
Yeah.
And that you got to interview her. That's incredible.
A lot of fun.
I still remember that video. Man, I feel like a woman, because she riffed on Robert Palmer. She had the male models behind her. Like he had the female models behind in his 80s videos. so I like that she inversed it and tossed that on its head.
Man, I feel like a woman.
This is why she's an icon for sure.
Yeah.
All right. And we have lots more coming up on the show. Anne-Marie had lots of great chats with Emmy Rossum as well.
Yep.
She had a great conversation with her.
I also chat with Anson Mount. He is
cool.
Captain Pike on Strange New Worlds. We talk all about season 4. We have a really great chat. I'm a lifelong Trekker, so that was a dream come true. And also, as a film buff, speaking with director Clement Virgo and his wife, Tamara Berger, amazing screenwriter. I talked to them all about the new film, Steal Away. It's full of commentary and allegory. It's a really great film. And now let's bring you that chat with them. So 2 teenage girls from different worlds collide, and they must work together against some pretty ominous, powerful forces.
Bonjour. Welcome to our home. People used to say my mother was butcher cosy. Witch doctor.
Steal Away is the latest film from director Clement Virgo. He co-wrote it with his wife, Tamara Berger, who is a novelist and screenwriter. Clement is the creative force behind the miniseries The Book of Negroes and feature films including Poor Boy's Game and the award-winning 2022 film Brother. If you've never seen Brother, watch Steal Away and then go back and watch that. You won't be disappointed by either. I'm really honored to be joined by Clement and Tara here in the Your Morning studio. Good to see you.
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you for watching my film. Appreciate that.
I was telling you right before we started chatting, I watched it last night. The film company kindly sent a screener over, watched it at home, but I know I loved it because the first thing I did right after was I bought a ticket to see it in a movie theater this Thursday.
Perfect.
I cannot wait to see it in a theater. And so diving into the story quickly first, though, I know this is based on a book by a Canadian historian, and that book was loosely based on 2 characters. So can you tell us a bit about kind of that narrative that got you into this story?
Sure. Perhaps, tomorrow we can take that question.
Yeah, it's a meticulous piece of history with Canadian, like a huge Canadian piece to it, which actually we didn't fully deal with the Canadian piece to it, but it's based in 1860s Kentucky. It's by Carolyn Smards Frost, and it's, details the very difficult relationship in time of slavery, obviously, between Fanny and Cecilia.
Yeah. And part of what we did was, you mentioned the Book of Negroes, and of course, I didn't want to, I love that history, but I didn't want to kind of go back into that history. So part of what we did was to kind of create a kind of fantasy world, a kind of Afrofuturist world, kind of dark, we kind of world build and create our own universe out of it, and kind of did a kind of genre mashup where it's partly thriller, it's a partly horror film, it's a partly kind of comedy at times. And so as a filmmaker, I'm always looking to experiment, and it just gave us the opportunity to kind of have some fun.
It works so well, and I mean, you touched on this, the fact that there's almost like a fantasy element, and it is intentionally opaque or at least like translucent in terms of where this is set and when it's set.
Yeah.
I love narratives that do this, stories that do this, because when it works effectively, and it does in this film, it really adds something to the narrative. I think of other great books turned into great films, Never Let Me Go, Handmaid's Tale, The Road by Cormac McCarthy.
Yes.
So how much was the world and the setting, in addition to the incredibly strong characters from different worlds, how much was the setting in the world a part of your narrative?
Well, for me, like Tamara said, it's set in the past, in Kentucky in the 1860s. But of course, I didn't want to kind of go back into that world. So part of what was intriguing to me was, how do we tell a story that's about the present, that's about the past, but also just kind of a glimpse at the future? I mean, we live in a world now that we think the past is a past, and somehow things have changed. But then, we see around us now, we see in our climate right now that things haven't really changed that much.
Right.
In some ways, perhaps, are we going backwards? And that's the question. So part of what we wanted to do with the film was, of course, entertain. But as a filmmaker, I'm always trying to smuggle in ideas into the film.
Yeah.
We're trying to smuggle in commentary about what is happening in the here and now, but also just reflect on the past and have the audience afterwards think about the film and not be didactic about it, of course.
Yeah, and that notion of like the past as prologue or history like rhyming.
Exactly.
And obviously in the film too, there's like refugee themes and immigrant themes. We see at one point like some signs saying "Stop the flood of immigrants." Was it important to include those themes and those headlines for you, which are sadly ripped from some real modern-day headlines?
I mean, well, when we were writing it, it wasn't necessarily in the news on like the 24-hour cycle as it is maybe now. But when you're writing, you're always absorbing present day and what's happening in the present day, even when you're writing about the past.
Yeah, and throughout history, people have always moved, right? I mean, borders are made up by men and by people, by societies, and so the history of migration is continuous. I'm an immigrant. I came here from Jamaica as a small child, and I've been fortunate enough to live in Toronto, to live in Canada, and to have a career. And so, just wanted to kind of comment that history is present and it's real and it's immediate. That's a part of the film.
I got to wrap it up, but very quickly, you're creative collaborators. You're also married in real life. Your son worked on this film, right?
Yes.
Just quickly, what was that like to have him on set?
It was great. It was a family affair. It was great to have Tamara with us on set, and our son, who's in Ottawa right now working. It was we spent the summer in Belgium. It was great to have the family together.
It's amazing. I could talk to you for hours. Thank you so much for being
Teddy.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't wait to see it on the big screen. And Steal Away is out in theaters now across Canada. Do check it out. It's fantastic.
Ronnen Harary was 23 years old when he co-founded Spin Master Toys. It is now one of the top children's entertainment companies in the world. I mean, Spin Master has created so many iconic brands that you know, like PAW Patrol, Kinetic Sand, the list goes on. Ronnen is sharing his story in his new book. It's called No Experience Necessary, where he talks about betting on yourself, especially when you're young. He's here this morning to tell us more about it. Good morning to you.
Hey, Lindsay, thanks for having me.
It's so good to have you on. I was just telling you, I love stories like this, where you're able to share the experience that you've gone through and the lessons learned along the way. So I want you to take us back to the 90s and how everything started. So you're sitting at the breakfast table with your mom. You're reading through a newspaper. Something caught your eye in there. What was it?
Well, first of all, the 90s, the good old 90s.
Good old 90s.
I love the 90s. Basically, we just graduated from university, and my mom was reading this newspaper. This Israeli newspaper, and in it was talking about these 6 different individuals that were manufacturing this product called the Earth Buddy. Small little potato head, you put them in water, grows grass or hair. And they had sold, there they are, and they had sold about 300,000 pieces in Israel. And so I figured 300,000 in a country of 10 million, and no one's doing them here in Canada. Why don't we make them? So I went to my business partner, Anton. I said, let's make 5,000 pieces for Mother's Day. He thought
Can I pause you for that?
Sure.
So you go to Anton, you show him this picture, right? And you're like, hey, I've got this idea to do this here.
Yes.
What did he think?
He thought I was crazy. He thought I was crazy. It took me 2 weeks to convince him. And then finally, next thing I know, we were in Kmart. We're buying some nylons, and we're sourcing out sawdust. I got my brother-in-law and my sister. We gave them 5% profit sharing, and we decided to make 5,000 pieces for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And we were selling them on the streets of Toronto. And we sold 700 pieces that day, came back to the office, and then we're like, oh, we got to figure this out. And I met this distributor through a connection through my mom, and 2 weeks later they call us and they're like, when can you deliver 26,000 pieces?
26,000?
26,000.
What did you think in that moment? Do you remember?
We need to move factories and we need to scale.
Yeah.
And then the most magical thing happened. 2 months later, we were able to get an appointment in Kmart. And I went down to Kmart myself, drove at 3:30 in the morning, got there at 9, met this buyer, pitched him. He said he wasn't the buyer, shook his hand, and then I walked around Kmart Corporation looking for the real buyer.
Yeah.
I was lucky to find her. Her name was Adrienne Zacks. And I walked into her office. I pitched her for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then she did the most magical thing. She gave me the vendor book, and she said, I'm going to order 48,000 pieces. And if it goes well, I'm ordering 500,000 pieces for Christmas.
What?
Yeah. And it's one of the things I write about in the book is that when you're young, everybody's rooting for you.
Right.
Everybody wants you to win. No one sees you as competition. And there's this most magical thing. It's like when you hit middle age, all you want to do is you want to get back.
You do talk about risk in this book.
Correct.
And the importance of sort of leaning into that. Why is that so important, especially at that age?
Passion delevers risk. It's riskier to do things that you're not passionate about. The passion will actually power you through. It's going to actually move you forward, okay, and keep your interest in, and it's not going to be work. The whole notion of work actually should be redefined. If you're really curious and you're really passionate, you're flowing with yourself. And so that's where I encourage people to lean in, push through the resistance. Freedom's on the other side of resistance.
When you look back at everything that you've accomplished with your business partners, are you amazed at yourself? I mean, it's the 4th largest toy company in the world. I mean, this is pretty incredible.
Yeah, we said when we started off, we said we'd build a company as big as we possibly could, and we're still on the journey. So I'm constantly shooting high, and we're still challenging ourselves. And so I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful where we're at, and I'm grateful that we're in the toy industry because it's one of the most...
Really exciting.
It's an exciting industry, producing TV shows for kids and entertaining, and you're able to stay at 7. I think like a 7-year-old when I'm looking at products.
Well, and that I love that idea of and you constantly have to come up with new concepts. I lastly want to ask you about PAW Patrol specifically, because obviously it's been a huge part of my life with my 3 children and our extended family. When you're coming up with an idea like a PAW Patrol, I mean, what is that process like for your team?
Well, first of all, I'd love to share PAW Patrol happened in our 19th year of business. And so the most important thing is to stay in the game. And you're going to have a lot of failures that happen, but the good things are going to come from the failures. And so PAW Patrol the most amazing thing about PAW Patrol is that it's Canadian.
Yeah.
It's produced in Canada, directed in Canada, animated in Canada, written by Canadians. It's Adventure Bay is out in BC. And I think PAW Patrol is one of those moments where the most incredible human beings came together to create something magical for children.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much, Lindsay.
I want to let everybody know the book is called No Experience Necessary, and it's out now.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. I've always wanted to do that, my friends. And my fellow Trekkies, or Trekkers if you prefer, the crew of the USS Enterprise are back in a big way.
Hopes. Dreams. Fears. I believe you are here so I can share them with you.
It is a fantastic series, and that is a look at Season 4 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, where Captain Christopher Pike leads officers on new adventures against even bigger threats. Anson Mount, who plays none other than Captain Pike himself, joins me this morning with a look at the new episodes and the new season. It's really great to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. You did pretty good with the monologue there.
Was it okay?
That was good.
It didn't have your gravitas, but I'll keep rehearsing it and everything. And here's the thing,
I practice my gravitas often in the morning.
Do you?
Looking in the mirror.
I have a feeling you don't have to practice it as much as I would. But listen, like me, you're a lifelong Trekkie or Trekker. I know you got into the original series back in the day.
Yeah.
Fascinating, too, that original series. I mean, it only ran for 3 seasons, but it had such an impact. And I want to ask you, kind of right out of the gate with this upcoming 4th season, what are you excited to bring fans and Trekkies with this new season? Because I know you've called it the best one yet.
I think it is. I just think, in general, we hit our stride as a creative group, and our shorthand with each other just flew. 3rd season was weird coming out of the strike, and we
Sure.
had a lot of staff turnover, but this one we had a lot of lead time and conversation and thought time about how we wanted to go about this next part of the story, which is, it's the prequel to the original, so there's a lot of points in canon that have to be hit, but we want to hit them in a unique and unexpected way. So, our show, I like that we're kind of thought of as the fun show, because we play a lot.
Yeah.
We play through genre a lot, which for whatever reason became a creative diving board for us.
Yeah.
And it's just how we have our conversations between writers and actors. But never the genre, we've done a musical, we've done noir, we've done horror, we've done situation comedy, and we've got a lot more genres we haven't explored that are going to be. But it's never the goal in and of itself. It's just, it's the vehicle we use to get to whatever strange new world that particular character needs to hit in that episode. So for instance, the musical, we knew we had an episode that had a lot of emotional transition happening for a lot of different characters. So we were like, okay, do we try to disguise that, or do we just embrace it? And the idea of a musical came up.
Oh, I love that, yeah. And I mean, one thing that I really like about the show, as a big fan of all things Trek, and it's the 60th anniversary, obviously, of Star Trek this year, is the way that the show balances canon, but then also new storylines. Obviously, and Pike goes back to like the unaired pilot, The Cage, of the very original, the very beginning of Star Trek. So it's such a rich character that you explore so well. This season in particular, like obviously season 3 ended with setting up all of these new unexplored planets. So is this season 4 going to be really about that exploration and new planets? Like, what can we expect?
Our goal with the show was to return it to the original Trek aesthetic, which is big idea of the week, planet of the week.
Yeah.
And that's, but at the same time, maintaining long-form character arcs.
Right.
And I think that the writers have done a very good job of that.
I love that. And, you know, like a lot of modern Trek, like most of modern Trek, Strange New Worlds is filmed in Canada, here in Toronto.
That's right.
So I love that as a Canadian that you're filming.
We actually have
here.
an episode set in Toronto.
Oh, I love that. And you recently posted a behind-the-scenes video from the set, so I think we've got a clip of that. Let's have a look.
Mark, please. Alpha Mark.
Charlie Mark. All speed, flip cameras. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
That is so fun. It seems like a fun set.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's the episode where everybody got turned into a Vulcan.
That's right, yeah. Really quickly, just to wrap it up, I mentioned it's the 60th anniversary of Star Trek, premiered back in 1966. I am sure you've had this question before. But
68.
68, yep. And the original series, like I said, just that 3 seasons. As a Trek fan yourself, and then somebody who's now such a key part of the legacy and the canon of Trek, why do you think it's a thing that we keep coming back to?
No, I think you're right. It is 66, isn't it?
It's premiered in 66,
That's right,
went
66.
to 69.
I was wrong. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Why do you think we keep coming back to Trek?
I don't think it's I don't think it's cultural. I don't think it's of the time. I don't think it's of the place. I think that Trek gets at something that is fundamental about our species, that we're driven to find out what is beyond the next horizon.
Right.
It's the same reason that we have NASA. I mean, you look at NASA on paper, and it's a terrible idea. We're going to spend billions of dollars to put one man on the moon?
Yeah.
Why? But that's what we all agree we should be doing.
Got to wrap it up. Thank you very much. Strange New Worlds premieres July 23rd, Paramount Plus, Season 4.
This is Your Morning, the podcast, where we bring you some of the best conversations from our show every week. Join us live on CTV every weekday, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, 7 to 10 a.m. Atlantic on CTV, CTV News Channel, and Crave.
We all loved her on Shameless, and she wowed audiences as Christine in Phantom of the Opera. Remember that? And now Emmy Rossum is starring in a new crime thriller. Have a look.
Your first case as an FBI agent, and you think you have a serial killer.
I do.
Oh. If you wanted to talk to me, you could have just
Oh, it's good. Furious is a new series about the hunt for a calculated killer and the FBI agent on the case. It is all about vengeance, justice, and how sometimes those mix, and there's a gray area between right and wrong. Emmy is joining us in studio with more. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
She's an experienced police officer, but a rookie FBI agent.
Yep.
She's thrown into this case. She figures out it's probably a serial killer. The show is dark, and talk about thrills. Every new episode I watch, it gets a little bit darker and a little creepier.
Twisty and
it's
twisted.
Also, twisted, and it's a bit messy. It plays with your idea of right and wrong and motive. I mean, that's how I describe the show. How do you describe it?
You're doing a great job. It's like you're reading my notes on my script. Yeah, I think it's really thrilling to have 2 women at the center of the story. One who is supposed to be your good guy, your FBI agent, and one who is your bad guy, your serial killer. And there's this kind of invisible thread that is pulling them together, that is making them realize that their histories might be more similar than they are different.
You mentioned 2 strong women there, but you've also got strong women behind the scenes as well. You executive produce the show alongside with Liz Merriweather. She's behind shows like The Dropout and more recently Dying for Sex. What was it like for you and Liz to collaborate to do this show about women and younger women's trafficking victim stories as well?
Yeah, it's incredible to work alongside women making things about women, because the texture and the reality and the nuance of creating these female characters is there. And Liz she also created a show called The New Girl. So she comes from comedy, and she's got this kind of darkness and this humor and this way of creating these dynamic characters that is so special. She and I both got to work with and study with and learn from former and and current FBI agents and former and current detectives. And I also got to do training with them as well. So it was an incredible opportunity to really build the stories from the ground up.
Okay, well, you shared some of those pictures of your training on social media. So I wanted to ask you about one of them in particular. So you go out, you're learning some of the tricks of the trade. I think observation was one of the skills that you had to learn.
Weapons training.
Yeah.
Interview tactics, interrogation tactics, watching people. Yeah, how to load and unload mags. Scenarios training as well.
Oh, okay. There's one last picture coming up here, Emmy, that I want to ask. What is this?
I'm loading a mag, I'm loading a BB gun mag. And that's Julia Crockett, who's my movement coach, who I work on a lot of characters with. And we
What does a movement coach teach you?
Oh, you come up with the physicality for the character based on the psychological profile. So you find a way to hold yourself.
Like in character.
Yeah, or with the trauma of the character. Where do they hold it in their body? Alice has a specific kind of way of feeling in her body.
Yes, when she is
and also
overwhelmed.
physically fighting. How do you fight? How do you make your body strong enough and create that transformation so that you are a weapon?
This makes sense because when I'm watching some of the episodes, and when you watch the show, you'll get this. There are moments where she is reliving trauma, but she's in her job, so she can't express it. And you do that really well. That's really interesting that you got to coach that.
I think a lot of women have been triggered at work, so it's very, very relatable.
It was very relatable. Listen, you are very comfortable in your real life advocating for what's important for you. You had to fight for equal pay on the set of Shameless, which you've been very open about. You've also been very open about your decision to wear your hair curly when, you know, it seems like a small thing, but it's an important statement. Have you always had this trait and this desire to not be able to stay silent when you just see something and you're like, why are we doing this way?
Probably a blessing and a curse, but no, I feel like one of the best things about, you know, getting older is that you're not the ingenue anymore. You don't feel pressured to be a certain way, and you do feel more confident and more sure when you know what's right.
You've been in this industry for a long time now, and viewers are going to remember you in Phantom of the Opera, which we referenced off the top. It's so different than your character in this show. But then I learned you started singing opera when you were 7.
Yeah.
And you have a 5-year-old daughter now.
Yes.
Do you sing opera with her?
No, my son, who's 3, is definitely very musically inclined. My daughter's more of an artist, and she's more of a storyteller. She's really interested in screenplay writing. My husband is a writer-director, too, so I think she's interested in being behind the camera, but she's got a lot of years for that. I'm not turning her into a pro just yet, please. Give me time.
Listen, what is story time like in your house between your career and your husband's and these young, what is it like?
It is actually funny that you asked that, because I just did a film in Rhode Island and was working on my Rhode Island accent. And I was reading green eggs and ham. I won't eat them, Sam, I am. I can eat them here, I can eat them there, I can eat them anywhere. So it actually, story time becomes quite funny, but usually I try to leave my work at work.
I would listen or watch anything that you do. Emmy, thank you for being here so much.
You're invited for green eggs and ham.
There's a new chapter in the world of Disney classics. Take a look.
This isn't the Wonderland I grew up with. They want a perfect princess. I finally got the mom, sister, and friend I always wanted. That's never gonna change.
Surprise.
Surprise! Descendants, Wicked Wonderland brings us back to the world of Chloe Charming, the daughter of Cinderella and Prince Charming, and her enemy-turned-friend Red, the daughter of the Queen of Hearts. Malia Baker plays Chloe. She is here with us in studio this morning. I'm so excited to talk to you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Congrats on the film. This is really
Thank you.
exciting. So we know that we first met Chloe and Red in the last Descendants movie, The Rise of Red.
Yes.
So this film picks up after Chloe and Red return from the past. So tell us a little bit about the story.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the ramifications of time travel. They're stepping into this whole new world of new realities and new expectations and pressures. And with Chloe in particular, she goes on this really big self-identity story and arc, and kind of that origin story that I'm excited for people to get a reaction to.
Oh, and they're gonna get a reaction. So good. I told you my 8-year-old daughter, Vivian, watched this with me, and she said this is by far her favorite one.
It's a really big deal.
Oh, she was glued the whole time with her best friend, May. Okay, I have to ask you something about the audition process, and we're going back to the last one, because I had heard that you actually turned down the audition for the last movie. Is that true?
I did, which is
What's
really
the story?
funny. I'm like, please, I love these films. I swear, hire me again. No, but no, I did. I think it's an intimidation factor. I mean, I grew up obsessed with these movies and have so much respect for these actors and their dancing skills and their acting skills and their singing skills. And it felt like I was biting off more than I could chew when I first had gotten even the audition. And after convincing, it was like, okay, maybe I could do this. I have a little sister, she's 16, and it was like one of our first arguments. She was like, you have to audition for this. You're being so stupid.
When they said, can you audition, you were just too nervous?
I was too nervous.
Scared?
I was just too like, oh, I don't think this is like for me. I don't think that I'm right for this. And then you gotta have that belief system in yourself.
Yeah.
Little pixie dust goes a long way.
I feel like a lot of us have had that moment too, right? Where we think, wait, like I can't do this.
I can't step on it.
Yeah, and you almost just need a push from either internally or somebody externally just to say, listen, give it a shot.
No, very true.
And aren't you so glad you did?
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine my life now. I've been to Disney World for the first time because of this job.
Wait,
I got to
what?
it's just been such a magical adventure.
Okay, can we stop? Disney World for the first time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What was that experience?
That was incredible. It was so freaking hot with my sister and my mom, but it was everything and more. I mean, a Dole Whip. Hey.
Any age. It's so
Any
fun.
age, it's incredible.
It is incredible.
Very true.
Magical. Speaking of magical, let's talk about this cast. Brandy's back, Paolo, they both return as your on-screen parents, Cinderella and King Charming.
Of course.
You probably remember, you at home, you'll probably remember those two from the movie Cinderella with Whitney Houston. I mean, I do, from 1997. Remember that poster? So I just love the extension of the story, right? And how the thread keeps going. Rita Ora also back. What's it like to work with this amazing cast?
Oh my gosh, I mean, they're incredible. I think it's exactly what you said. They're classic. They're so iconic. I think they're so authentically themselves, and being able to even be within their orbit, I think has been such an honor. I've learned so much from them over the years, and it felt like just a big reunion and just like a big hang. Hey, let's come back and all party together working on this one.
So when I was watching these scenes, I started to think, I was like, okay, all of the coordinating, dancing, and all this stuff. Like, how long does that take to rehearse?
Like
how intense is that?
5 weeks. 5 weeks of boot camp. And they don't play when they say boot camp. It's like early in the morning, 10-hour days.
What's early?
Like 7 a.m.
Okay.
We see, that's not too bad. I heard laughs in this room,
Well,
you guys.
because you work on a morning show.
I know, you guys are up at like 3 a.m.
Some people are up at 1:30.
That's not chill.
Nighttime.
That's nighttime, by the way. I've gone to bed then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's props to you guys.
But you would be working all day from 7 in the morning.
All day, and you just do dance and you do singing training, and then sometimes you'd have rehearsals with a director to really like talk about the character and the script. But most of the time, this was a very dance-focused, musical number heavy film.
Yeah.
So I hoping that Emilio, our choreographer, really did us in and wanted to make sure that we were so prepped. And it was honestly the best part of filming. You have so much fun. It's like summer camp, you know?
Yeah, and you become so tight, right?
So
like a family.
tight.
And this was shot in Vancouver, which is the town and city you grew up in.
Yes.
Were you
it
able to
is.
show people around a little bit?
Yeah, it's actually really great. We had a majority of Canadian film on this. Canadian talent actually on this set, which was really, really cool. And yeah, being able to show people around and literally spots where I'd grown up. I was like, wait, okay, so this is where I usually get my sandwiches. Like,
amazing.
So silly, but so wholesome.
No, that's like the insider scoop that you want.
Totally.
Lastly, I want to ask you about the fact that like Chloe's a doll.
Yes.
Your character is a doll. Does that not blow your mind?
It blows my mind. I don't think it'll ever fully register. If it does at some point, somebody needs to humble me immediately. I need to be docked down a little bit. No, I think seeing her on shelves has been life-changing in so many different ways. It'll never feel real.
So glad you went to that audition.
So happy.
So happy, Malia.
I the little sister, seriously.
Amazing. Family's everything. All right, Descendants Wicked Wonderland is out now on Disney+. Malia Baker, thank you.
Thank you.
Still the one. Don't impress me much. Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Just some of the anthems that we know and love from Shania Twain. With more than 100 million albums sold worldwide, she revolutionized the genre of country pop. But Shania's journey to fame and success all started in local bars in Northern Ontario. And now she's returning to her roots in a new album called Little Miss Twain that's out today. I sat down with Shania to learn a little bit more. This is such a treat and so much fun. Who is Little Miss Twain?
Who is Little Miss Twain? Well, this is what I asked myself during the making of the album Little Miss Twain. Remembering the Little Miss Twain, the little singer, Little Miss Twain was how I was introduced on stage as a child. So they would just say, you know, welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Little Miss Twain. So that was my childhood stage introduction. That's where that comes from. And the songs are all reflections of the period of my first days on stage from the age of 8 years old in little local bars, all the way up through till I got my recording contract in my late 20s. So that is the life and the segment, I guess, of my life before Shania Twain was anything or anyone.
What's Shania Twain?
Shania Twain is the post-big record label deal phase of my life.
You've told those stories before, but what was it like writing them and going through those memories now?
It really made me smile a lot looking back at, for some reason, I was reflecting back on things that made me laugh and chuckle and made me happy, remembering all of the great things about the North. The old, it's a fairly, it's a very, very lightly populated region where I'm from. I don't think that Timmins, Ontario's population has ever really expanded much since I was a child.
And shout out to Timmins, Ontario, by the way.
Timmins, Ontario, where there's gold veins in the ground, which I sing about, and the Great Matagami River that runs through our region. And so I was reflecting back on a part of the world that, of course, is in my veins and never left, but also a part of the world that not many people have discovered.
It's beautiful and rugged
and, it's beautiful.
Far.
It's very scenic.
Yeah.
Don't go in black fly season. That's all I would say. It only lasts for a couple of weeks out of the year.
But it is a memorable couple of weeks.
Oh, I avoid, no, I promise myself I will never go north in black fly season again. I've lived through that for so many years, but no, otherwise it's such a spectacular part of the world that a lot of people don't ever write about or don't know about at all. They don't, they might get as far as the Muskokas, but they don't go north, the true north, as we call it.
Speaking of True North, I know we weren't going to do this today, but I'm going to bring this up now. This is brand new. We're one of the first people to hold this.
That's right.
This is the Canadian cover
Yes.
of Little Miss Twain. Tell me about the scenery in here. I imagine this is very similar to what you and I were just talking about.
This is the Canadian version of Little Miss Twain, and it is specific to Canada. And I put the yellow tone in there because of our gold.
Oh, I love that.
And Timmins is so well known for its gold mining, and it's a big part of our history. So, yeah, we have a lot of spruce trees. We don't have a lot of mountain in this area, but I wanted to include more of the blend of what Canada is as a topography, because we're so versatile and everything like that. So, but yeah, we have, we've got those short spruce trees and lots of water and a lot of nature, which is what stays with me, I think, no matter where I go, the scent of our nature.
You've spoken before about how your son, Asia, who is 24 now. Wow.
Yeah.
He's the first person that you send raw demos to and that you let listen to your music. First of all, how is he? And secondly, did that happen on this album? Did he participate at all?
He did participate. He has his very own music life, which is different from what I do, but it's always got my curiosity. I'm always interested in what he's doing, like any parent is interested in what their child is doing. So we share and exchange what we're up to. And then every once in a while, he'll have an idea to throw in. So there's 3 songs on the album that he's participated in. And
which songs?
He participated in Right Time. Him, myself, and David Page from Toto wrote the song and produced it together. And Asia's singing in background vocals as well. So it's me, David Page, and Asia singing in the backgrounds. He also did a song, We Just Met, with me and a group of his writer friends.
That's cool.
That's a really beautiful one, We Just Met. And I brought that song into him and we finished writing it together. And then the other song, I'm trying to remember now, which one was it? There are 3 though.
I read that he did background vocals on Little Miss Twain, is that right?
Oh yeah, he did do backing vocals on Little Miss Twain, that's true. Yeah.
You know what I love about that is that song is about your mom's dreams for you, and then your son is singing with you on that. I find that very generational and very beautiful.
It is so beautiful, especially now. I say to Asia, okay, here's the note I need to hit. Can you please hit it with clarity and pitch perfect tone so I don't have to struggle through all the takes? Because he has a lot of my tone in his voice.
Really?
Yeah, so we blend well together.
Oh, I love that. You know, he's 24, he's part of that generation that has really caught the Shania Twain fire. And you see that when you watch these videos of you in Wembley Stadium. I love them. You are having the time of your life.
Yeah.
You're on the stage, and this audience is you're singing to them. They are all singing back to you. What was that like?
It was really fabulous, and it was something that I discovered during the Queen and Me tour, where I realized that the children, like the little children that were 3, 4, 5, 6, who were coming to my concerts years ago with their parents, were now grown up, and they're now in their 20s and their early 30s. And they've made my music part of their nostalgia that they revisit, but have made it very current for themselves. So now they come with all their friends, and they come to party. So this is what I experienced at Wembley during those London shows with Harry. And they are also Harry fans. So that audience crosses over because, of course, they're all, crazy about Harry, too.
Yeah. But they were, like, to see them singing, throat strained, right back at you, I loved. Then not only that, then you jump on stage with Mumford & Sons, and you're singing Man, I Feel Like a Woman. So then I thought, what kind of a woman do you feel like now?
I feel like a really blessed one. I feel, just as a person, I feel a lot more of the love and respect coming back to me now as I'm older. And I guess through the longevity of the career, you just start realizing that these are all the people that have stayed with you all of this time and that have made this career so lasting. And so the appreciation is really evident and beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
I asked people in that age demographic, because they will sing all the songs. They know all the lyrics. I'm like, how did this come to be?
Yeah.
And I was talking to someone, he said, well, she just writes classics. She writes anthems. Do you feel like there's one of those maybe on this new album?
Oh, definitely. I think from a different angle in a sense, because Little Miss Twain is more, it's a deeper sentiment, because it is about my reality and story as a child singer, but it's very sing-along. The chorus is very, very straight-ahead country music sing-along that I think people will just want to hum. Yeah, I think it'll be a concert favorite.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to sing along to the new ones. Really quickly, speaking of Gen Z, Ella Langley is one of the people in that age group who loves your music. She posted to TikTok, still the one. You guys have met. What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, we met at the ACMs, and I was able to congratulate her in person, which I was really happy to be able to do. And she was what I expected. She was very uplifting, positive, excited young artist who was, really in the midst of developing something that I think will be around for a long time. And you could sense that she was devoted and committed to it, and you could sense her commitment to it all. It was really great. It was nice to meet somebody that you could really sense was not created, but had created herself.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is high praise coming from Ms. Twain. Finally, you've been in England, you've been in Ireland, you're back home in Canada. Yeah. What's it like to be singing home and singing to home?
Well, Little Miss Twain, the whole album is pretty much singing to home.
Yeah.
But
doing it at
bringing
home.
it back, exactly.
Yeah.
So bringing it back home is just beautiful. And it feels like a wonderful full circle emotion, I think, is more the way I would put it. It's grounding. It's always grounding to come home anyways, I never knew that You know, I always intended for my music to be out there in the world, but I never realized that it would take me as far as it did. So when you look at, or when I look back and reflect on where I started, Timmins, Ontario, and then ended up, you know, everywhere in the world, it can be a little overwhelming, especially during the process, you know. This keeps going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
So when you bring it all right back down to home, it's fabulous.
You always impress me much, Shania Twain. Thank you for this.
You're sweet, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, whether you were listening or watching to today's episode.
Yeah, and if you want more of these great conversations, don't forget, my friends, to download or hit subscribe to Your Morning, the podcast. It is available everywhere where you get your podcasts.
But of course, we'd also love for you to watch us live on weekday mornings, and you can do that on CTV, CTV News Channel, and Crave. So that way you can start your mornings with us.